Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're diving into the second discussion for today, which is all about 2027. What have you heard about the term Tinubu Tsunami? Is it a reality or it's just sentiments? I still have my guests in the studio and the ones also via Zoom. I really wanted to talk about this and share their views about this particular topic. Yes, I still have Honorable Napoleon Obama, one-time local government boss of modern local government. I have Solomon Ijobe, also a political analyst, activist. Don't forget to mention Fred Lebaro, all the way from Momoa, joining us virtually, and Elvis Brown. Yes, join us virtually also from Benin. All right, I want to start off from you, Elvis. Now, what do you feel about this? Some people say is Tinubu tsunami that is happening right now. They're saying that it's because of 2027. Do you feel that this particular term will hold water in the forthcoming election, Elvis? All right, Fred, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Let's just go ahead with that particular question. Do you feel that the Tinubu tsunami is anything to fear in the forthcoming election?
Okay. I want to thank you once again. If you remember, like I said in this, I thought he has given me the floor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good. I said, if you recall, some time ago, I said on this studio to Nigerians that there is no vacancy in Asoro. I said that for a reason. The reason is that Tinubu, before he became the president, when he was not a president, he campaigned and you saw everything that played out. Even from his party, he was not the original person that was to be given the ticket, but he fought and he got it. So the election of 2027, with what he has put down, they are arsenal enough for him to win this election. And I can assure you that if there's something more than tsunami, you can say it because I'm going to tell you this for free that 2027 election, if God keeps everyone alive, Tinubu will have it so easy than eating gari. He will have it so much easier because that's what it is. Because I don't want to delve into all those things he have done. Even the blind can see what is on ground, what he's doing. So it's going to be easy for him in 2027. And I think that all political parties who say they are opposition, they should start working to become the real opposition. Otherwise, I believe before you know it, the one you call opposition will also become a follower of Tinubu in no time. So this is my take on it because it's very clear that it's going to have its easy way in 2027.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, now let me get to hear from Brown. If Brown, do you share his own opinion saying, all right, Brown, go ahead. React to what Fred just talked about, the Tinubu tsunami. Should political parties become so scared when you talk about 2027 that he might just have his way? Elvis, can you hear me? Maybe his face signifies no. Anyway, let me come to Solomon Ijobe. But you heard the remark of Fred. Now, what do you feel about it? Saying, yes, it's a reality, it's not sentiment, it is going to happen.
It's so painful that there are no political parties in Nigeria. All we had at best is the political associations masquerading as political parties. The difference between political parties and political associations is that the political parties have ideology. They have a reason for which they exist. They have laid down rules, they have procedures. We remember in the days of the MPP and the UPN, MPN rather, and the UPN. The UPN's toga was all about free education. That was their mantra. And then the others believe in other things, economic reform and all that. And that's why you saw the likes of Awolowo creating free education for his people. And that's birthed a lot of professors in the likes of the states like Ekiti and others. Unfortunately, they call it political tsunami, but I call it political danger.
Political danger?
Of course. You ask me why. What do you think this will birth in 2027? Don't forget, we are in the first half of the first tenure. First half. For every match of 90 minutes, there's a 45 minutes first half. There's a first half, 2 years of the 4 years. And then you're having this decamp. Well, let me say this. Any politician decamping now Bella products now they do. It's stomach infrastructure. Listen, they are not for the people. Those who are already decamping from party A to party B. That's on the one side. But on the second side, I fear what will happen in states like Delta, where you have the likes of Omo Agege, who have been there, submerged, pained. He paid the dues, where PDP had sway. Suddenly, you know, when the governor of a party is in a party, the governor is a leader of the party. And the governor who contested against him had become to APC now and is his political leader. Are you saying he will bury his political ambition that he had nurtured for years? You don't see that as a political danger, and you are talking about political tsunami?
All right.
So there are a lot of issues. A lot of issues because the elections is a federal election. Well, I know that when you decamp to APC, according to one of our brothers, your sins are forgiven.
Well, he has debunked that all the same. Anyway, Solomon, hold on. Let's get to hear the opening remark of Honorable Napoleon Agbama. Tsunami or reality?
Thank you very much, Wisin. Just like my colleague said just now, when you have a politician who is a grassroots person, who understands the terrain and what he's doing as a politician, is different from when you have a military general turning into a politician, or when you have a technocrat saying they are politicians. What you are saying today is because Tinubu is a politician. He rose from the grassroots to the top, and he understands the situation of the country. Let me tell you that the fuel subsidy that Tinubu removed, every subsequent government know that they're supposed to do it. I was afraid.
All right, you just hold on. I want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with the discussion. Yes, ahead of 2027, Tinubu tsunami, sentiments or reality. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go away.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI ahead of 2027. Tinubu tsunami, is it sentiment or a reality? And I have my seasoned analyst here with me in the studio to share their thoughts and opinion on this particular phrase, both visually and of course in flesh in the studio. Where would you, Honorable Napoleon, before we went on that break? So please continue.
Thank you very much. Before we went on that break for the news, I was saying that Tinubu is a politician. His action by removing the fuel subsidy, that's one of the things previous administration could not do. That increases allocations to states and local governments in terms of funds. You can see that since that era, very many states and local government are not even talking of borrowing money. I haven't done so many things that are very interesting that people are happy about. Most of these governors or other persons in government by way of election are saying it that they can only hide under the umbrella of Tinubu to be re-elected. Like my friend just said, very many of them are not after the other thing than their interests in winning the second tenure in their various positions. And that is why they are moving to APC, because they have seen that under Tinubu worship, APC is a party to beat. Having said so, I'm only afraid that after Tinubu election, 2027, like he said, that is where I'm looking at the danger or whatever. That what is happening to PDP now, if not care is not taken, APC will be even be worse at that time. But if we have a good leadership that can manage the affairs, I think that will not arise. To say whether it's Tsunami or whatever, it is a personal effort of the president. You will recall.
Yeah. Continue, yes.
You will recall that during, before his first election, there was a meeting held in Delta under the chairmanship of the then governor of Delta State, Okowa, to say that whether you are a party A or you are a party B, this time is the turn of the Southern Nigeria to become a president. But unfortunately, the man who chaired that seat didn't agree for a PDP to have the House presidential from the South. And that was just the beginning of the crisis we are still having, and we are still witnessing or seeing today PDP. But the APC, through the efforts of some of the governors, and Tinubu being a politician, doing his whole work clearly, we are able to get it right. And today, they have seen that somebody who have worked so seriously under this situation that, like my friend said just now, that Tinubu were not even in the past administration saying that to be the candidate. He's now become the candidate and win. They see that it's very difficult, no matter the coalition or whatever, they cannot be able to unseat Tinubu in the second term. Oh, so they don't see it as umbrella that they can always hide under to get their second term or whatever. That is how I look at it. Okay. All that being equal, it still depends on the voters who are to do the voting that day to say who goes.
Okay. Let's move on to Fred right now. Fred, beg your pardon, Elvis Brown, if you're there, what do you have to say about this particular concept, Tinubu's tsunami? Is it sentiment or a reality? Elvis.
Well, thank you, Wilson. Honestly speaking, I think that it would be a mistake to think about this as a Tinubu tsunami. I can tell you that most people who are moving to the APC right now are doing so because of the current crisis rocking the other major opposition parties, viz. the PDP and the Labour Party. Having that in mind, that if the party itself is not settled, the only option they have is to move to the ruling party. That being said, I will also say that 2027 is not a handover. It's not something that you just hand over. Of course, people need to secure their political future by being a place where they can at least be sure 70% that party issues are not affecting them. The other issues they need to face is the issue of voters. Of course, they will be able to appease with the voters, for their votes and all that. You cannot now say that is a definition of victory for the APC in 2027. You can't say that, because between now and 2027 is a long time. parties will come together to resolve their issues. Merger or no merger, there are other factors that you need to look at. And I think that whoever is the campaign would have done his calculation. But that is not a victory or a total victory calculation. Be sure that between now and that time, a lot of other issues, a lot of other events will play out. And they may not play in favor of the people who are moving to the APC right now, because the APC seems to have all the political bigwigs in their platform right now. In 2027, you're going to have that conflict of interest. You cannot rule that out in politics. We've seen that in PDP before, and you are going to see that in the APC in 2024, where a lot of persons will have interest, and then there will be instructions or directives coming from Abuja to say this is the person who wants to hold the ticket. Another person will feel aggrieved, and they will return back to where they're coming from. It has always been like that. Politicians, that we said before, have no shame. They don't have the atom of shame in them. It's just about interest for all politicians. So if by 2027 you have all the big wigs rushing for a particular position, maybe Senate or maybe governorship, and there's directive from Tinubu, who many are praising to be a political genius, a sentiment, with which I also agree with. There's going to be directives to say, let this person go for second tenor, or let this person go for third tenor, or let this person hold the ticket. And that person will feel aggrieved. And in the process of you trying to want to resolve those issues, some other political parties will reach out to those persons and say, look, we'll give you the ticket, you come. And so we're going to find most of them coming back to PDP, coming back to Labour Party, and other political parties that may eventually emerge in the course of this political discourse. So by 2027, we're going to have this polarity in the APC, such that in most of the states right now that they hold so strong, they won't be able to hold it by 2027. Because these big wheels that are giving them the confidence of victory will move to other political parties, and those political parties will now have momentum to challenge the victory of the APC in those states. And of course, you can be rest assured that the president may be able to retain his presidency. But what about the governorship? Most governors may lose out. Most senators may lose out. Most rep members may lose out. The way it works in politics. So I cannot outrightly say that because Tinubu is having his calculation, smart calculations right now, it's, a definition of permanent or total victory for the APC in 2021. It doesn't work that way. It has never worked that way. Even for most advanced countries, it has not worked that way. So let's take United States, for instance. Donald Trump had his game plan. He had the people with him. He had his message. Right now, we're not even talking about message. We're not even talking about the messaging of the APC. We're not talking about the political strategy or the campaign promise of the APC. We're talking about a man who is able to get people to decamp into his political party. Messaging is out of it. So between now and 2027, a lot of issues will come out. When campaign starts, the people will listen, the people will hear, and the people will take decisions as to why they want to vote for who they want to vote for. Let us not forget that. So Donald Trump had Americans listen to him, but even at that, he had to lose a lot of states. So now he had the presidency, he has the Senate, he has the Congress, but he still faces fierce challenges from even members of his own political party. So you can understand that politics is not, is not static. It's not static. You cannot say that this direction is going to go. It's not. Let's not call it a tsunami. It's a political calculation that may have its own defect, may have its own limitation. Limitation may be proven to be superior to their expectations before the 2027 election.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, Fred, can you hear me? Fred?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, from what Elvis said, it said it's not a political tsunami. It could just be called a smart calculation that would just backfire come 2027. What do you feel about that?
Well, I will agree with him that it's a calculation. It is a calculation that brought about the political tsunami. You understand? Because Tinubu is a strategist, and he has look at other political parties and find out that this is their loophole. And the person that is working them is actually an advantage to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's why I say earlier, when I said it was not a bad prophecy. I kept saying it that there's no vacancy, in Nassau come 2027, because I have not seen anybody that is viable, that is a political party that is even strong, to even challenge the All Progressive Congress. Because every now and then you see that everyone is, they are even yearning, they are yearning to come, you know. If you call it calculation of what they are going to get, it is the calculation that has been set by the Tinubu himself that is actually rocking everywhere to bring them on for the tsunami that has taken place. You know, so I believe that it's going to have a smooth sail by God's grace. I say by God's grace because it's only God that holds the breath of everybody. But apart from that, I can assure you that more people will become, more people are going to become. You will see it. Everybody, I'm just looking at not letting not be a one party state because of the love for Tinubu and his strategy.
All right, thank you.
So,
Thank you so much, Fred. Well, Solomon, it's like you were shaking your head in disagreement, or like, you know, set it in the future.
No, I agree with the other man from Benin,
Elvis.
That the end result will be that the president benefits. Because don't forget, presidential elections will be held before the governorship elections, and then the governors may suffer very big setbacks. Because you may be looking at it. I agree with the political permutations or the postulations of that man, that you may just be looking at it. Yes, the man is smart. So whatever Tinubu is calculating is for self. And whatever these politicians are also calculating is for self. Let me tell you, for instance, the only reason, logical reason, why the Delta State governor could have declined from PDP to APC is to lock out his APC opponent from being a stooge, because over time PDP had had sway in Delta State, so it's just to ease his coming, and that may be another problem, because if one day close for politicians in Nigeria, another window open. So it is not an Uhuru yet. So those clamoring and shouting is a political tsunami. Well, we'll watch till 27.
All right, so we're going to have the last
Thank
take
you
on the
very
discussion.
much. Thank you very much. I think, like you said, the benefactor job be the president said Tinubu. You see, today PDP has no even secretary. If you look at the electoral law, the secretary of the party and the party chairman, the national chairman, is to sign a form for any candidate to be accepted. Who is the secretary of PDP today? I believe he's still, the command is still there, the problem is still there. There is no society secretary. Some group are saying Mr. A, the other group are saying Mr. B. So if there is no secretary to sign a form for any presidential candidate or a governorship candidate or senator or whatever in the PDP, that means almost all the PDP senators and governors, they will all empty themselves either to APC or a different political party. So the same thing, I think, is having that problem still there for Labour. So the situation is just in favor of the present President Tinubu, apart from his activities and his working and whatever. So whatever is happening in other political party is to his advantage. Like he rightly said, after presidential election, before a week or two, before you now have the governorship election.
All
So
right.
it may not just go the same way.
All right. Well, you've heard them. This is the most time will permit for us to really talk about this. I know they have so much to really talk about. This is it tsunami or mere reality or sentiment. But some are saying, yet it's a smart move that a man is a aggressive politician, so things are like, going his way. If you're not in his party, you endorse him because of the problem with the political party. How do you think all this will pan out? Only time definitely will tell. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today's show. And of course, my analysts via Zoom, I appreciate both of you. Thank you so much. But this will call it a wrap on today's edition of This Morning on ITV. We'll do it again some other time. Bye for now.